This week, in the last day of this incredible year, we see the spirit of America flow through the frosty camps. The U.S. is blessed with morale, the rebels coal, and Davis tries to fix his conscription conundrum and a closing skirmish. What a sweet little Christmas gift to end this year. First thing this week, on Christmas Day, the 2-year contracts of our boys in blue are up. These men carry the nation on their backs, and we still need their help. So the president increased the bounties if they continue to serve, and en masse they do. After over 100 weeks of marching, starving, and death, the flame of freedom burning so warmly in our soldiers' souls is a gift to every citizen of this nation. Now for a nation without any soul to guide them. The Confederate States of America is having issues with its manpower. So on the 28th, the Confederate Congress amends the Draft Act and tax laws to remove substitutions, the policy of having someone else fight for you if you're drafted, because of the likelihood those substitutes would run away. I might use flowery language about souls, but in all seriousness, the rebels have a morale issue. Next day, the skirmish I was talking about at Mossy Creek, Tennessee. I miss having a map. General James Longstreet, commander of rebel forces in eastern Tennessee, has retreated to winter quarters near Dandridge after his failure at Bean Station, having the secessionist horse riders under General Martin keep him up to date on the movements of the enemy. But, unbeknownst to Martin, a new man is in town. On the 23rd, Brigadier General Samuel Sturgis arrives at Newmarket, Tennessee, takes over from Shackelford, the commander of the cavalry. Then, with a strong Union force, Sturgis advances to Mossy Creek. After making camp, he learns of a rebel brigade at Dandridge and orders his men to ride there, but return if they don't find the enemy. At the same time, Martin reports to Longstreet about a Union force at Mossy Creek and gets orders from him to assault it. The rebels make quick gains against a small Union force under Sturgis, but soon he is reinforced by those he sent to Dandridge because, of course, the Confederates who camped at Dandridge were the ones ordered to assault Mossy Creek. With those reinforcements, the Federals repulse the 2,000 men of General Martin, inflicting 400 casualties to their own 150. Union doesn't pursue, and the Southerners slip away. Pickles time! I know, in the middle of the week, what a treat! Congress shows its love for me by passing a resolution giving thanks for Gettysburg. Skill and heroic valor, which at Gettysburg repulsed, defeated, and drove back, broken and dispirited beyond the Rappahannock, the veteran army of the rebellion. This thanks, of course, goes to Major General Joseph Hooker, who is not in command at Gettysburg. He is loved for his strong anti-slavery stance. The reasoning is that Meade only followed Hooker's blueprint for Gettysburg. Meade says in response to the resolution that he wonders if Congress might soon claim that he never stepped foot in Gettysburg. Then on the 31st, the final day of the year, let's see how Davis and his friends are doing. Today closes the gloomiest year of our struggle. The Richmond Examiner is right on the money. On the 30th, Davis received a letter from North Carolina Governor Zebulon Bayard Vance. I hate the traitors, but that's a pretty cool name. About the discontentment of the Tar Heels. I have concluded it will be perhaps impossible to remove it, except by making some effort and negotiation with the enemy. This is worrying. North Carolina isn't the most supportive of secession, but it's one of the most populous states. To rectify this, President Jefferson Davis appoints Confederate Senator George Davis, no relation, as Attorney General, taking over from the far more qualified acting Wade Kings. Now this doesn't matter much as there is no Confederate Supreme Court, so the Attorney General doesn't do much. But it shows the desperation of Davis. And that is just one of the 13 states in his union. I am counting Missouri and Kentucky, since they're in the Confederate Congress, though I don't believe them to be under any sort of control. This year started so well. Grant stalled in the West, Rosecrans held at Stones River, the victory at Chancellorsville. Davis must be asking himself what happened. Well, Vicksburg was encircled. Tolma pushed the rebels into Georgia. Chattanooga firmly beat Bragg. The piece de resistance, Gettysburg. Davis now has to deal with bread riots. The southern states ready to secede from the secessionist states, and the Union at his door. Now, this isn't to say Lincoln has a trouble-free job. This year saw the New York City draft riots, showing just how tenuous the rule of law is. The new House of Representatives barely is held by his coalition. With the 1864 election weighing on his head, he needs results. but he is better off than last year. From Secretary of the Navy Gideon Wells,
"This year closed more satisfactory than it commenced. The war has been waged with success, although there have been in some instances errors and misfortunes. But the heart of the nation is sounder and its hopes brighter."
Wells is right on the money. The Union has real hope. There is still much danger. The election of 1864 can spell doom for this nation, if it happens at all. And the rebel armies might be beaten, but they aren't out of the fight yet. Still, you can all sleep easy at night and wait the new year with a smile.
Hello, it's the entire Civil War Week by Week team here. You can see we're in the old set and it's good to be back. I hope you're having a great winter break. I hope to see you next week.